is a super exciting video for me because 100K and saving 100K has been a super big goal of mine since I can remember. And I did this primarily by saving money. My name's Emily and welcome back to my channel. I've hit a personal net worth of $100,000 and here's how I did it. On July 3rd of 2019, which was 5 years ago, I had $27,066 to my name. And over the course of these 5 years, I have gained about $80,000. I am sure you've heard before that the first 100K is the hardest to make, and everything sort of goes up from there, or so I've heard. Here is exactly what I did to earn that money on my own. As I was working towards saving this money, I was still in university for a large chunk of this time, which meant I didn't have a career at the time to earn a lot of money. So the first thing I did to make sure that I could earn a lot of income being in school without a degree was work a job that made a lot of money. The service industry and restaurant business here in Canada was a great way to do this. At the time, I was making $15 an hour, and I would work for about 8 hours 2 times a week. Before taxes, that means I was making $360 minimum wage. That is absolutely nothing per week, and that is going to take you a long time to earn $100,000. But I went home with tips each night around $200, sometimes $300 a night, so I'd go home with an extra $600 a week. So that $360 went up to almost $1,000 per week. On top of that, I also at the time was running an Etsy business where I would sell paintings. There's also so many other things you could sell on Etsy. I know on TikTok right now, wallpapers and making digital prints or digital cards is a huge one. That's something you can do easily within a Canva account, and you're just uploading it straight to Etsy. You don't even have to ship anything out. That was making me a little bit more than minimum wage, and it was something I enjoyed to do on my free time as well. Find another source of income that is more like a hobby that you can get paid for. For me, it was painting, and that allowed me to have a little bit of extra income on the side. I would say the most important part, however, is budgeting. If you are not budgeting your money and spending whatever you like, there is no way you're able to save $100,000. I followed the 50-30-20 rule, which you might have heard, where you're using 50% of your money for necessities, 30% for wants, and 20% of every month's income is going towards savings or investments. This is going to avoid mindless spending and just buying whatever you want and causing you to actually have to think about what you're buying. The way that I personally budgeted was I found out my monthly income. We'll just go with last year's, and I was making $3,600 monthly after taxes. I'm still living at home, so my expenses are my car bill, my gas, my phone, my gym membership, my groceries. It brings me to $1,000 a month, which I know is low. That left me with $2,600 a month, to which I gave myself a spending budget of $200 a week. That allowed me to go out to eat with some friends, buy some things at a store that I would like, or any extra necessities that I needed to purchase throughout the week. Putting this in the notes app for me at the beginning of the week on Monday was the easiest way for me to do this. I would put $200 at the top of my notes app, and every single time, I still do this daily, every single time I make a purchase that is not gas or groceries, I subtract it from my $200. And this holds me accountable, and I know if I'm getting close that maybe I gotta save for that sweater for next week. I also love to travel, and travel can be super expensive, especially on a budget. So anytime I spent less than $200 a week, that would go to my travel fund, and I would carry that over. And currently, from just a couple months, I have $1,000. Another huge way I was able to grow my money is through investing. I use a financial advisor through a company that works with Fidelity, and I'm sure you have lots of financial advisors in your area. The reason I have a financial advisor is I am not a banker and I do not know what I'm doing in the regards of banking. My financial advisor takes 1% of my cuts. I don't even see it, and I know that he knows what he's doing. Another hack for this is to do monthly payments. So every month I have started putting in $300 because that's what I am able to contribute without missing it right now. Before, I would put in lump payments. As long as you're adding payments monthly in a high interest savings fund and you know that you're not going to touch it, your money is going to grow. 3 years, I went from having 15,000 to 22,000. My numbers are going to fluctuate. That's why it's best that you leave your money in your account and that you don't touch it. The rule is that every 10 years your money is going to double. So if I put $10,000 in when I was 20, by the time I'm 30, I should have 20,000. When I have 20,000 when I'm 30, by the time I'm 40, I should have 40,000, and so on. So it is a great strategy to use, and it's really paying off with me having to do no work. You definitely don't have to be perfect, and there were times where I didn't stick to my budget to a T, but if you are sticking to the routine and you're working towards that goal by writing it down, being persistent will allow you to reach that goal much quicker. Now, another big reason I was able to save $100,000 by the time I was 25 was through my lifestyle choices and saving money where I could. I know not everyone has this pleasure, but I was able to stay at home, and I am still living at home. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to pay the bills of housing, especially in Canada where it's $500,000 to buy a house, and I have the luxury, I'm lucky to be able to live at home with my parents. So for me, that was important for me to stay a little bit longer at home so that I could save up that money. This was able to save me about $2,000 a month. Because of my budgeting, this also meant that I was cutting back on some experiences like expensive vacations, going out less than maybe I would have liked to, with keeping in mind that I knew I wanted to reach this goal. So to sum it up, here are a couple quick tips to help you get started. 1, set a clear goal. So for me, that was saving $100,000. Secondly, finding ways to increase your income, whether that's a side hustle while you're in school or a side hustle after your 9 to 5, or if you are at a minimum wage job, trying to find a job where you can make tips or commission on the side so that you can earn even more. 3, the third biggest tip is to avoid lifestyle inflation. That means when your income goes up, your spending does not go up. It's very easy when you're making more money. I know it certainly was for me to want to spend more because you're earning more. If you're making that money, you're saving the extra, and then you're able to compound and grow your money much quicker if you have a higher income. And finally, invest when you can, as early as you can. Even if it's a couple $100s, keep putting that away. The earlier the better, because it's going to compound and grow across your lifetime, and you don't have to do anything other than put it in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Good luck.